PNP Loophole Crackdown. Provinces push tougher rules to stop the small province, easy PR route. Welcome back to Canada Chronicles. Today we're diving into one of the most urgent shifts happening inside Canada's immigration system, a quiet but powerful crackdown that could reshape how thousands of people pursue permanent residence through smaller provinces. Across the country, provincial governments are tightening expectations, strengthening settlement requirements, and pushing back harder against what many now call the easy PR strategy. If you're planning to apply through a smaller province, or you're already working there on a permit, the changes now underway could directly impact your future. This video breaks down what is driving this sudden pressure, how nomination rules are evolving, and what these developments mean for anyone who hopes to secure permanent residency through the Provincial Nominee Program. And later in the video, we'll explore an important question viewers have been asking. Which provinces are really changing the rules? That part alone could transform your entire immigration plan, so stay with us until the end. If you haven't already, hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss updates that could affect your Canadian journey. Let's get started. The hidden problem: easy PR via small provinces. Canada created the Provincial Nominee Program to give provinces the ability to nominate applicants who intend to live, work, and build long-term roots in their local communities. This system was supposed to support regional growth, strengthen smaller economies, and ensure newcomers settled where they were needed most. Over time, however, a major loophole has taken shape. Some applicants now apply through small provinces simply because the nomination process appears easier or faster. Once they secure permanent residency, many relocate almost immediately to larger labor markets, such as Ontario, Alberta, or British Columbia. This movement leaves smaller provinces with fewer newcomers than expected, even though those provinces invested time, settlement resources, and nomination allocations to bring those individuals in. Internal migration patterns show that smaller provinces, especially in Atlantic Canada, have experienced significant outflows of newly landed nominees. This impacts industries that rely heavily on steady labor, such as food processing, agriculture, healthcare support, and manufacturing. Meanwhile, larger provinces continue to gain workers, even though they were not the ones who nominated them. The original design of the PNP expected newcomers to build communities in regions with lower populations. Instead, many migrate to major cities after landing, because mobility rights allow permanent residents to live anywhere in Canada. This undermines the purpose of regional programs, creates frustration among taxpayers, and reduces the effectiveness of immigration planning. Why provinces are now demanding tougher rules. By 2025, frustration across several provinces became impossible to ignore. Provincial governments began stating openly that they no longer want to tolerate the pattern where applicants use a small province to get permanent residency, only to leave as soon as their status is approved. This push for change is happening for several reasons. First, labor market pressure is growing. Smaller provinces depend on newcomers to fill essential roles in sectors such as hospitality, healthcare support, trucking, construction, and fisheries. When workers leave shortly after landing, these sectors are left with shortages. Second, communities in smaller provinces have limited capacity to recruit, train, and integrate newcomers. When nominee retention fails, local employers and community programs are forced to restart hiring and training cycles. Third, many residents feel the PNP is being used for convenience instead of genuine settlement. They believe the system was meant to support regional development, not act as a shortcut to reach larger cities. All of these concerns have created momentum for a serious policy shift. What tougher rules are being considered or implemented? Although every province is taking a different approach, several major reforms are becoming common. Some provinces now require applicants to live and work locally for a specific period before being considered for nomination. This prevents individuals from applying remotely or treating the province as a temporary stop. Other provinces are prioritizing people who are already living and contributing within their borders. As a result, international applicants outside Canada may find fewer opportunities in certain streams that were previously more open. Data tracking and monitoring are increasing. Provincial governments are paying closer attention to who stays, who leaves, and how long newcomers remain in the region. This information influences future nomination decisions and program design. There is also growing movement toward requiring stronger proof of settlement. This includes evidence such as long-term employment, stable housing, and community involvement. The message is clear. Provinces want to nominate people who are building genuine roots, not those seeking the fastest route to a major city. Together, these measures signal a coordinated attempt to close the loophole that allowed individuals to treat small provinces merely as a stepping stone. The national context. Why federal policy is supporting this crackdown. The federal government, specifically Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada, is responding to national demographic, economic, and labor challenges by shifting the overall direction of immigration policy. The 2025 to 2027 Immigration Levels Plan places a stronger emphasis on applicants who are already living and working in Canada. This shift aligns with the priorities of provincial governments that want higher retention and stronger long-term settlement. Additionally, the Provincial Nominee Program is becoming a larger share of the annual immigration targets as the federal government reduces reliance on temporary residents. With more nomination power comes more pressure on provinces to ensure the people they nominate stay in their communities long enough to address local needs. This partnership between provinces and the federal government reinforces the goal of regional balance and discourages the long-standing pattern of applicants landing in a small province and quickly relocating. Implications for applicants. What this means for you. If you are considering a PNP pathway, especially through a smaller province, you need to adjust your expectations. Your intention to settle is being examined far more closely than before. You may be required to show proof of long-term residence, stable employment, and community participation. Employers may expect longer commitments before providing job offers that support nomination. Provincial officers may request stronger documentation to confirm your settlement plans. If you accept a nomination and then move away immediately after obtaining permanent residency, you could face questions during future immigration processes. While full revocations are rare, audits and investigations are becoming more common. The era of using a small province to obtain quick permanent residency and then relocating without consequences is fading. The emphasis now is on genuine settlement and long-term contribution. Thanks for staying with us this far. We appreciate your time and hope you're finding this information valuable. Which provinces are really changing the rules? Several provinces have already taken noticeable action. Manitoba has implemented a pilot that requires certain temporary residents to work full-time in the province for an extended period before becoming eligible for nomination. This shift signals a stronger focus on loyalty and existing ties rather than attracting newcomers who might leave. Saskatchewan has tightened its selection criteria by prioritizing individuals who demonstrate stronger connections to the province. Changes in 2025 reduced opportunities for applicants applying from overseas, especially in occupations where local retention has historically been low. Prince Edward Island has begun focusing more heavily on candidates already residing and working on the island. This shift aims to ensure that nominees remain in the province instead of relocating after landing. Nova Scotia and the Northwest Territories have also emphasized retention by giving priority to candidates who have already spent substantial time in their communities. These early reforms indicate a broader national shift in how provinces plan to select and retain newcomers. If your immigration strategy depends on securing a nomination from one of these provinces, you need to evaluate how these changes affect your timeline, eligibility, and long-term settlement plans. Assuming that the old small province pathway still works, the same could lead to closed streams or stricter criteria before you even apply. The solution: how to adapt your strategy. To protect your immigration goals, start by choosing a province where long-term settlement makes sense for your life, career, and family. Provinces are looking for applicants who intend to stay, not those who view the nomination as a shortcut. Live and work in your chosen province early in the process. Your presence, employment history, and community involvement demonstrate sincerity in your settlement intentions. Keep strong documentation of your ties to the province. Employment records, housing agreements, and evidence of local participation can strengthen your application and reduce the risk of future scrutiny. Stay updated on policy changes. Provincial nominee programs are evolving quickly, and eligibility criteria may change without much warning. Finally, avoid assuming you can move immediately after landing. Build your plan around staying in your nominating province long enough to establish yourself and meet the expectations that provinces now clearly communicate. As these developments continue, one message stands out. Provincial governments want long-term residents not short-term pass-through applicants. Understanding these changes now will help you make smarter decisions, avoid disruptions, and secure a stronger future in Canada. Thanks for watching, and if you found this update helpful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you stay ahead of every new policy change. See you in the next video.